Thiruppaavai Pasuram 30 Vangak Kadal Kadainda Madhavane. Before we enter the final Pasuram, let us gently observe the essence of Pasuram 29. In the previous step, Andal taught us purposeful living through service and remembrance. Desire had dissolved, asking had stopped, the seeker had discovered meaning is not in receiving but in offering. Life itself became an act of devotion. The heart was no longer restless, it was anchored. With that maturity, Andal now arrives at the conclusion. Pasuram 30 does not sound emotional, it sounds complete. There is no urgency here, no longing, no pleading, only assurance. Vangak Kadal Kadainda Madhavane. She invokes Madhava, the one who churned the cosmic ocean. The symbol here is not mythological spectacle, it is profound clarity. Churning is effort, nectar is grace. Andal reminds us that the divine does not deny the effort. Yet grace arrives not because effort demands it, but because effort has purified the seeker. This is the fruit of the journey. She declares that those who recite these pasurams with sincerity will receive grace, not as a prize, not as a bargain, but as a natural consequence. Just as a seed becomes a tree when conditions are right, spiritual effort, she assures, never goes waste. This pasuram corrects a deep misunderstanding many people carry. They ask why effort does not immediately produce results. Andal answers this question gently. Transformation happens silently, like churning beneath the surface. Leadership lesson here is subtle and powerful. True outcomes often appear long after consistent discipline. Leaders who chase instant validation lose depth. Leaders who stay committed to process build legacy. This pasuram teaches patience without passivity. Andal then makes an important clarification. She says this is not her glory, it is Lord Krishna's compassion. This is spiritual maturity. When success arrives, the ego steps back. Credit dissolves, gratitude takes its place. In life and leadership, those who attribute success only to themselves become heavy. Those who acknowledge grace remain light. This pasuram teaches ethical success. Success without arrogance, achievement without ownership is real success. Andal also reminds us of the collective nature of this journey. These pasurams were not sung for personal liberation alone. They were shared, taught, and passed on to generations. Wisdom that is hoarded dies. Wisdom that is shared multiplies. Leadership insight here is generosity of knowledge. When leaders build systems rather than spotlighting themselves, institutions outlive individuals. The journey that began with waking up at dawn now ends with eternal remembrance. That is the arc. Discipline led to awareness, awareness led to humility, humility led to surrender, surrender led to grace. This is not religious poetry alone. This is a blueprint for inner evolution. For life, this pasuram gives assurance during doubt. When effort feels invisible, when results seem delayed, Andal says, trust the process. Growth is happening even when you cannot measure it. For professionals, this means integrity matters even when no one is watching. For parents, it means values shape children silently. For leaders, it means culture is built through consistency and not through announcements. This final pasuram also teaches closure. Andal ends without attachment. She does not cling to the journey. She offers it and steps aside. True wisdom knows when to conclude. In leadership and life, knowing when to stop is as important as knowing when to act. I repeat, in leadership and life, knowing when to stop is as important as knowing when to act. Completion requires maturity. Thus Thiruppavai ends, not as a book, not as a ritual, but as a living path. A path from noise to stillness, from self-effort to divine alignment, from individual striving to universal harmony. This is why Thiruppavai remains eternal, not because it was composed, but because it transforms. As we complete Pasuram 30, may we carry this assurance within us. May discipline refine us. May humility protect us. May service guide us. May grace complete us. Let this not remain as a discourse. Let it become a way of living. Hari Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Thiruppavai, a message for 2026. Inner awakening, conscious living, collective grace. I am sharing this message with a deep gratitude and surrender at the divine lotus feet. With humility, I bow in reverence to Ramakrishna Mat Thanjavur and my heartfelt pranams to Swamiji Vimurtananda, whose silent blessings and spiritual presence strengthen this entire journey. I express my sincere gratitude to Mr. Praveen, my dear friend, and to every seeker who walked with me through this Thiruppavai journey. This was never a solo path, it was a shared awakening. As we complete the sacred journey of Thiruppavai, 30 Pasurams, 30 inner awakening, one truth becomes clear. Thiruppavai is not a hymn meant only for Margazhi. It is a life manual. It is a mindset. Andal did not compose Thiruppavai for scholars alone. She composed it for ordinary people living extraordinary inner lives. She wrote it for those who work, struggle, lead, fail, rise, and still search for meaning. Across these 30 Pasurams, Andal quietly takes us on a journey. She does not push, she does not frighten, she does not promise miracles, she simply awakens us. From sleep to awareness, from noise to silence, from ego to surrender, from loneliness to collective strength. Now, let us ask ourselves honestly, what changed in us during this journey? Many who recite Thiruppavai daily notice something very subtle. Life does not suddenly become easy. Neither problems do not vanish, but clarity definitely increases. Decisions become calmer, reactions soften, focus sharpens. That is success. In 2026, the world is moving fast. Ambitions are louder, distractions are endless. Thiruppavai teaches us a different model of success. Andal begins by waking us up early, not just physically, but spiritually. She tells us that those who wake up earlier to purpose will always move ahead in life. I repeat, she tells us that those who wake up earlier to purpose will always move ahead in life. People who wake up late to responsibility keep running behind circumstances. Those who recite Thiruppavai regularly develop discipline without stress. They learn to show up daily whether motivated or not. This habit alone builds success in any field. I have seen professionals who struggle with consistency. When they begin their day with Thiruppavai, slowly punctuality improved, focus improved, emotional stability improved. Their outer success followed the inner order. Andal then teaches us discipline without bitterness, vows without self-punishment, renunciation without sadness. This is very, very important in modern life. Success today is not about burning out, it is about sustaining energy. Thiruppavai teaches sustainable living. Less ego, less noise, less comparison, more clarity, more intention. People who recite Thiruppavai regularly learn simplicity. They stop complicating life. Decisions become cleaner. Priorities become sharper. Another powerful teaching is togetherness. Not one Pasuram is individualistic. Everything is collective. Andal never says, I alone will reach God. She says, Let us together. In life, those who grow alone fall faster. Those who grow with people create lasting impact. Thiruppavai teaches leadership through inclusion. Build teams, build families, build communities. Success multiplies when shared. In 2026, this lesson is critical. No organization, no leader, no individual can thrive alone. Andal also removes fear from spirituality. She brings God closer, not distant, not unreachable. She says, God walks with us, eats with us, works with us. This changes everything. When a person recites Thiruppavai daily, fear reduces, anxiety reduces, confidence grows quietly. They stop panicking. They start trusting effort and grace. This is success mindset. Andal also teaches courage. Courage to knock, courage to wait, courage to surrender fully. In real life, success requires all the three. Knock on opportunities, wait patiently when results delay, surrender control when effort is complete. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack patience. Thiruppavai builds patience naturally. She teaches humility, not weakness and strength that bows. She teaches humility, not weakness and strength that bows. Let us remember, ego drains energy. Humility attracts grace. People with humility listen better, learn faster, and grow deeper. Finally, Andal teaches us purpose. Not wealth alone, not status alone, but service and remembrance is true purpose. When life has purpose, success follows meaningfully. People who recite Thiruppavai regularly often discover clarity about why they do, what they do, when they should do, and how they should do. Work becomes meaningful. Leadership becomes service. Success becomes contribution. If we live even a fraction of what Thiruppavai teaches, 2026 will not just be another year. It will be a year of awakening, of calmer minds, kinder relationship, focused work, and meaningful success. Let this not remain a discourse, please. Let it become a daily practice. I repeat humbly, let this not remain a discourse, please. Let it become a daily practice. May Andal's words continue to guide us. May Lord Krishna's grace walk beside us. May our inner awakening become a blessing to the world. Jaya Krishna Mukunda Murare. Jaya Krishna Mukunda Murare. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu.